You will now listen to our special program, Cheer for Paris Part 7, Badminton and Table Tennis.
Cheer for Paris.
With less than a month to go for the world's biggest sporting carnival, it is time for us to hit more turbo. In today's edition, we'll talk about two sports that embody speed and precision. Two sports that are in many ways the underdogs of the Olympics. They don't hawk the headlines, they don't dominate water cooler conversations, but when the game begins, they command your attention. They make you forget to blink your eyes because the action unfolds at lightning quick speed. Two sports that find their origins in British folklore but have been dominated by the Chinese lately. Two sports that have seen the rise of India in recent times. Two sports that at Paris will make the hearts of 1 billion Indians beat in sync in the anticipation of Olympic glory. We are talking about badminton and table tennis. Both these sports exhibit strategy panning out with flamboyance and velocity, even leaving the players gasping for breath and the audience awestruck. At the Paris Olympics, both would see historic Indian participation. While in badminton, India is set to send its joint biggest contingent in Olympic history. In table tennis, for the first time, both the men and the women have qualified for the team events. In all, 10 gold medals would be up for grabs in the two sports. How many can India lay their hands on? Let's dive deeper, starting with badminton. With its roots located in colonial India and some historians dating its origins back to ancient India, Greece and China, modern badminton's British legacy also lent it its name, with Duke of Beaufort's residence, Badminton House, considered the source of the nomenclature. Interestingly, the sport was called Pune in its original avatar after the Indian city of Pune, with its first set of rules developed there. Badminton first entered the Olympics as a demonstration sport in 1972 and was officially included in the Olympic catalogue in 1989. As a result, badminton made its official debut at the Barcelona Games in 1992 with 4 events: men's and women's singles and doubles. This rather late arrival meant many badminton legends such as India's Prakash Padukone and Indonesian Liam Swee King never graced the Olympic stage. Asia emerged as the dominant force in the very first badminton competition itself, winning 15 of the 16 medals on offer. This pattern continues till today, with the shuttlers from the East ruling the roost at the quadrennial games. India had 3 shuttlers at the inaugural competition, all of whom past national champions Dipankar Bhattacharya, U. Vimal Kumar and Madhumita Bisht. At the Atlanta Games in 1996, mixed doubles was added as the 5th category of competition. For India, Dipankar Bhattacharya participated in his 2nd straight Olympics. Dipankar Bhattacharya speaks about his experiences at the Games.
Both the Olympics were great. It's a great feeling to be a part of the Indian contingent at the Olympic Games and to be there with all the top players of the world, to see them train. The moment it came in the media that I got selected for the Barcelona Olympics, I reached the pre-quarter finals. Again, that was a very memorable Olympics for me. And I lost to the then world champion Chowdhury of China.
PVV Lakshmi, the wife of legendary shuttler and coach Pullela Gopichand, also represented India in the women's singles category. When the new millennium arrived, China began their ascendancy on the Olympic courts as the Chinese won 4 of the 5 singles and doubles golds on offer at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Gopi Chand made his debut at Sydney, making the pre-quarters in the men's singles. The Beijing Olympics saw a rule change, with games being decided when a player reaches 21 points. It was 15 previously. Meanwhile, a certain Saina Nehwal debuted at the Olympics as a 20-year-old. It was at the 2012 London Games that Nehwal scripted history as Indian badminton finally found its moment in the sun at Olympics. Saina Nehwal.
बचपन से मैं काफ़ी अच्छी प्लेयर रही हूँ। जीतने के लिए खेलना चाहती थी। मैं कभी भी एंजॉय करने के लिए नहीं खेला क्योंकि मुझे जीतना बहुत पसंद था हमेशा से। और जब मैं इंटरनेशनल सीन में आई तो मैं सब भूल गई कि या चाइना बेहतर है या इंडोनेशिया बेहतर है या मलेशिया बेहतर है। उस टाइम सिर्फ मैंने यही सोचा कि साइना इन सबसे बेटर है।
Saina had a majestic run to the semi-finals before being downed by top seed Wang Yihan. She was awarded the bronze when Wang Xing retired from the bronze medal playoff with an injury. Former player and Badminton Association of India's General Secretary Sanjay Mishra tells us how Saina showed us that the Chinese are not invincible with the racket.
आज से 20 साल या 25 साल पहले एक ये माना जाता था कि जो चाइनीज प्लेयर्स हैं वो हराए ही नहीं जा सकते हैं, लेकिन साइना नेहवाल ने उनको हराने की शुरुआत की। साइना नेहवाल ने जो चाइनीज प्लेयर्स को हराना शुरू किया उसके बाद ये हमारे प्लेयर्स को क्लियर हो गया कि नहीं, हम किसी को भी हरा सकते हैं, वो चाइनीज हो या इंडोनेशियन हो या मलेशियन हो। और उसके बाद फिर बैडमिंटन में बिल्कुल एक नया दौर चालू हुआ।
Former international player Malvinder Dhillon.
जो भारत में साइना ने बैडमिंटन के लिए किया वो अनबिलीवेबल, उसी की वजह से जो बैडमिंटन है इतनी पॉपुलर हुई है। मैं उसका कोच भी रहा हूँ जूनियर में, तो मैं आपको बता दूं उसके अंदर एक जुनून था, उसी की वजह से जो बैडमिंटन है इतनी पॉपुलर हुई है।
In the men's singles, Saina's now husband Parupalli Kashyap also had a dream tournament, becoming the first male Indian player to reach the quarterfinal before bowing out. The Chinese were in the midst of a gold rush, winning all the yellow medals on offer. The 2016 Rio Olympics was history-making for India once again. The emergence of PV Sindhu on the world stage engendered hopes of another medal, and Sindhu, despite being seeded ninth, was in top form. In the final, a 21-year-old Sindhu faced top seed Carolina Marin, chasing history herself with a victory for her, ensuring that the women's gold medal at the Olympics going out of Asia for the first time. Marin prevailed in a titanic tussle, laying the seeds of another storied rivalry. Sindhu was vanquished but held her head high, bringing joy to billions back home and adding to India's status as an emerging power in the sport.
मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। Of course, first Olympics बहुत excited थी मैं और I was just thinking match by match and finally finals खेल रही थी। I was hoping for a gold, but then कभी-कभी एक हारना है एक जीतना है, तो I made it to the silver medal, but then I've never thought because सबका aim रहता है कि Olympics में medal लेके आने के लिए, and मेरा first Olympics था, and I think it's a different feeling and it's been really great.
PV Sindhu's romance with the Olympics continued at Tokyo as she became the first Indian woman to win back-to-back Olympic medals by cantering to the podium, having claimed the bronze medal in a playoff. Sindhu, seeded 6th, was at her imperious best in the tournament and did not drop a game till the semi-finals before bowing out to Tai Zhu Ying of Chinese Taipei. While B. Sai Praneeth had a disappointing run in the men's singles event, the dynamic men's doubles duo of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sai Raj Ranki Reddy missed out on the knockout stage on points difference despite having beaten the eventual gold medal winners Li Wang and Wang Shi-lin of the Chinese Taipei in the group stages. India's two medal winners at the Olympics have both been wards of legendary player and coach Pullela Gopichand, who believes,
I think भगवान का बहुत कृपा रही है और हम लोग मेहनत जरूर किए हैं, पर यहाँ पे सारे लोग मेहनत करते हैं, बट भगवान की कृपा रही है.
Gopichand's wards have reimagined the sport in India, making it a fledgling superpower. Journalist Shomitra Bose elaborates.
Every sport needs an icon. Badminton icons undoubtedly have been people like Akashvani, who continues to be a coach and he has his own centers in Bangalore. And of course, Gopichand. Gopichand has been a quiet customer. He's been on the sidelines of many top players. He's been the man behind the rise of Saina Nehwal, PV Sindhu. Of course, they have changed coaches. They have gone to different paths at different stages of their career. But they can never forget the contribution of Gopichand. Gayatri Gopichand, Lakshya Sen, even Anisha Presto, they all train at the Gopichand Academy in Hyderabad. So Gopichand's contribution as a chief coach cannot be ignored. He has a very cool influence on the players.
With the Paris Olympics knocking on our doorsteps, Indian shuttlers head to the French capital with new aspirations and a genuine buzz. 5 quotas have been won by Indians to this year's games. 3 singles and 2 doubles, and medal hopes loom on the horizon. This is the joint largest contingent that India will be sending to the Games, and there are expectations. Pressure also mounts. But these Indian athletes are no strangers to the weight of expectations, having tasted success at the highest stages of the sport. Leading the Indian charge will once again be PV Sindhu. Sindhu's ascent to the upper echelons of the sport has already received folkloric status, and she'll be gunning for the 3rd straight Olympic medal in Paris. The 28-year-old former world number 1 has had a bit of an indifferent spell in recent times and won the quota by finishing 12th in the race to Paris ranking list. The Olympics, however, bring out the best in the Hyderabadi ace as she continuously defied her seeding to reach the latter stages of the tournament. This year might be no different. Former international player Shirish Nadkarni tells us more.
Sindhu is an exceptional player who rises to the occasion in the big events. It's not for nothing that she has such a wonderful record in the World Championships, in the Olympics, where she won a silver in Rio de Janeiro in 2016. She was beaten by Carolina Marin, but it was a very, very good match. And with a little bit of luck, she might even have won the gold there. But she did win a bronze at Tokyo in 2021. And yes, she is on a hat-trick in the Paris Olympics. And again, most of the experts are not rating her chances very high. That is for a number of reasons. One is age. She is now just on the right side of 30. There are several young players who are playing very, very well at the top. As far as Sindhu is concerned, her recent record in international tournaments has not been very satisfactory. So as far as her status at the moment is concerned, she is somewhere on the periphery of being a dark horse to get one of the medals. I don't think she can get the gold. A lot would depend on the draw she receives.
The men's singles draw will have 2 former World Championship medalists, Lakshya Sen and H.S. Pranoy, gunning for glory. Pranoy, another of Gopichand's star wards, has a career-high ranking of 6 and won bronze at the Hangzhou Asian Games in singles. This will be his first Olympics, and he has said in recent interviews that he knows the pressure will be intense but is hopeful about his positive mental approach. 22-year-old Lakshya Sen has seen a meteoric rise since making his debut for India. The former gold medal winner at the Summer Youth Olympics, Lakshya also has laurels aplenty at the senior level. A finalist at the All England Open, Lakshya is an Asian Games and Commonwealth Games medalist and part of the team that won the Thomas Cup with Pranoy in 2022. He continues to strive for more consistency despite all the success he has enjoyed in his young career so far. Lakshya Sen.
I think last year end में जो मुझे time मिला था, I think 6 to 7 weeks of training, and I think काफी time बाद इतना time मुझे मिला for myself to train, because this being the Olympic qualification year, there were a lot many tournaments, but I think the last few months I've really focused on improving myself on the court and my fitness levels as well. So I think looking forward to the season, and I think the work that I have put in will definitely help me, and I think it's a long process of hard work, of taking care of my body and being fit for every match.
India's biggest medal hopes this year from the badminton arena will probably rest on the men's doubles of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. The duo are the only pair to have reached the number 1 ranking from India in men's doubles, as well as win gold at the Asian Games. The Trail Blazers have also triumphed at the Commonwealth Games and were part of the Thomas Cup winning team. With their consistent ability to beat the big guns on the tour at crucial stages, the two look set for a medal run at the Games. However, men's doubles is a tricky competition, and the difference between a gold win and going without a medal might be that of a hair's breadth. Shirish Nadkarni.
Satvik and Chirag have been world number 1 several weeks in the course of the past few months, and they have won several good tournaments. They have had performance against every other pair on the planet. The only thing is they lack consistency, and on their day they are unbeatable. If they don't reach that particular level that they want to display, then there are at least 8 to 10 other pairs which can beat them on a bad day. Men's doubles is probably one of the most competitive of the events. Like I said, there are 10 pairs who are almost at the same level. There are 2 from Indonesia, 1 from Malaysia, 2 from South Korea, and on their day, they can take anybody out. And even Chirag and Satwik. Chirag and Satwik, in my opinion, do have an excellent chance of getting one of the medals. I would have said that they can get the gold, but like I said, the competition is so severe that if they get the right draw, yes, they have a chance of going all the way.
Chirag Shetty also reckons their biggest challenges could be Asians as they dominate the sport.
जो dominate कर रहा है वर्ल्ड बैडमिंटन को वो एशियन कंट्रीज ही हैं, चाइना है, मलेशिया है, कोरिया है, जापान है.
Shomitra Bosch.
The draw will only be known on July 12th. So once we know the draw on July 12th, then we can make some kind of observation on what the path is going to be. Having said that, Satwik and Chirag are India's best hopes in terms of a medal. I must caution everyone that, just going by rankings may not be the right approach. Both these boys are giant pillars and they have done some unthinkable kind of performances and they have only gone better. Olympics are a very different cup of tea. If they are injury-free, and mind you that when I say injury-free, they are quite prone to injuries. There have been cases where they have defaulted or given walkovers in the first round. If they are injury-free, they remain a big threat to the top players, largely the players from China, Denmark, Korea, Malaysia, Indonesia and Japan.
India will also be represented in the women's doubles by the pair of Akashvani Ponappa and Tanisha Cresto. Ponappa is a veteran of the circuit with medals in the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games and the World Championships, among others. Renowned for her erstwhile pairing with Jwala Gutta, Ponappa secured the 13th rank in the Race to Paris list. Cresto, just 21, is a gold medalist at the Asian Team Championships. She speaks about her preparations for the biggest games of her life.
I think my preparations are going pretty well. We've had good conversations with our coaches. We've planned good training programs. And Didi and I have also planned different training programs. And we can't wait to implement them. And we're very excited. Being mentally, also we are very, very focused right now. I think spiritually we've gone and visited temples. A thank you to God. So I think everything's in place. I think it's great working with Gopi sir. He's a very inspirational person and there's so much to learn from him. It's great working with these coaches because they've been there with us for a lot of the years and they know a lot about our game and areas where we can improve on. It's a whole lot of excitement, different kind of pressure, different feeling, and that's what I'm really excited about. I'm excited about this challenge.
Sanjay Mishra throws more light on where India's top shuttlers are gearing up for the games.
जो प्लेयर्स हैदराबाद बेस्ड हैं, सात्विक, चिराग, प्रणय, तनीषा और अश्विनी, ये लोग हैदराबाद में प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं. सिंधु जर्मनी में अभी गई हुई है, वो ओलंपिक के पहले वहाँ, क्योंकि वो जिस जगह पे प्रैक्टिस कर रही है वो पेरिस से बहुत पास में है, तो वेदर वगैरह के हिसाब से थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट होने में ठीक रहेगा. और लक्ष्य सेन भी 10-15 दिन पहले पेरिस में जाके प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, तो उनके साथ उनकी पूरी टीम जा रही है, कोच, फिजियो, ट्रेनर सभी जाएंगे. तैयारी तो प्रॉपर चल रही है, बहुत अच्छी तैयारी चल रही है. और जहाँ तक मेडल्स का सवाल है तो हमारे सारे प्लेयर्स, अगर आप मुझसे पूछेंगे तो हम तो 3 से 4 मेडल की भी उम्मीद कर सकते हैं.
The stage is set for our shuttlers to continue the rich legacy of the sport in India as they step out at the Porte de la Chapelle Arena in a sport still dominated by their adversaries from the Far East. Table tennis is said to have originated as a post-dinner pastime in early 20th century England. It was usually played by the upper middle class using a cork and the lids of cigar boxes. Over time, the cork got replaced with a ball and the lids of cigar boxes with what we call rackets or paddles today. Much like the Olympic Games, table tennis went from being a totally amateurish affair to a thoroughly professional sport. Originally called ping pong, it has always been an inclusive sport. Both men and women competitions have the same prestige and people of all ages can play the game. You don't have to go very far to find an example. India's Polomi Ghotok was just 16 years of age when she made her Olympics debut at Sydney in the year 2000, while Achanta Sharat Kamal would be 42 years old when he represents the nation at Paris this year. On the face of it, the game is simple. Anybody can play it. The basics are are easy to understand and execute. The ball feels lighter than air, and all you need is a small table and a pair of rackets to begin. However, at the professional level, it can get astonishingly fast-paced. Suddenly, you realize that the opponent is too quick and the table is too small. The ball is spinning into different directions after bouncing each time, and you barely have time to breathe. The margins can get incredibly tight. Sometimes it takes a single error to decide who wins and who loses. Yet, the Chinese have somehow found the formula to success ever since its introduction to the Olympic Games in Seoul in 1988. 37 gold medals have been up for grabs in table tennis. China has won 32 of them. They haven't just succeeded in the sport, they have dominated it. China's total medal count in ping pong is 60. No other nation has even 20. Former player Anand Prakash throws more light on what makes them such a powerhouse.
I've been to China. I went to Zenting. Zenting is just like Makkah, holy place, you know. There's a main center for China table tennis, and they've got a big center. It's also sort of academy because they adopt many children from the age of 6, 7. And government, they take care of their studies, they take care of their food, lodge, everything. Their work is only to play, that's all. I was really surprised to see very small boys having small table and the way they were practicing, their footwork, physical exercises, everything. Very good.
Originally, the sport used to have 4 competitions at the Olympics: the men's and women's singles, the men's and women's doubles. In 2008, the doubles events were replaced by team events. In the team events, sides compete in a total of 5 rounds. The first 2 are singles matches. The third round is a doubles match, while the remaining 2 are singles matches again. The first team to win 3 rounds is declared as the winner. In Tokyo 2020, the mixed doubles tournament was added as the 5th table tennis event. Paris Olympics would be the 10th edition of the quadrennial games to have table tennis as a competitive sport. India has participated in each of the previous 9 volumes. Neha Agarwal, who represented the nation at the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
I was only 18 years old, so for me to qualify for the Olympics was a very big thing. I have to say it is truly the most memorable moments of my life. I remember the opening ceremony was just so amazing. The feeling of playing for your country at the biggest stage of sport is such a big honor. I just feel extremely proud and lucky to have had the honor to do so.
Despite competing in every edition, India have unfortunately never been able to secure a podium finish. This time though, there is a buzz of anticipation. After all, never before this had an Indian team qualified for the team competition. This time, both the men's as well as the women's team have made the cut. Dronacharya awardee, renowned coach Sandeep Gupta tells us more.
ओलंपिक के अंदर हमारी मेंस और वुमेन्स टीम चैंपियनशिप में क्वालिफाई की। ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है और अगर ये अपना प्रदर्शन को दोहरा पाई तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि हमारे देश को पहली बार ओलंपिक के अंदर टेबल टेनिस में मेडल मिल सकता है।
Former Olympian मोहम्मद दास,
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है एज ए टेबल टेनिस प्लेयर के इस बार पहली बार टीम इवेंट्स में टेबल टेनिस से मेंस टीम एंड वुमेन्स टीम पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं इन ओलंपिक्स। इट्स अ ग्रेट न्यूज। तो बहुत उम्मीदें हैं और अभी शरद कमल, मनिका बत्रा, अरमित देसाई सभी बहुत अच्छे खेल रहे हैं। तो आशा करती हूँ कि बहुत अच्छा हो और हम लोग दूर से सिर्फ प्रे करते हैं कि ये लोग इंडिया के लिए बहुत अच्छा करे, देश के लिए मेडल लाए।
Leading the men's team would be veteran paddler Achanta Sharat Kamal, who would be making his 5th appearance at the Olympics. He first represented the nation at the marquee stage in Athens in 2004. He then went on to compete in 2008, 2016 as well as the 2020 Olympics. Sharat has won 13 Commonwealth Games medals for India, including 7 gold. He has also finished on the podium at the Asian Games and the World Championships multiple times. Yet, what he yearns for is an Olympic medal.
When you look at my closet, I had the gold medals at Commonwealth Games, I had the bronze medal at Asian Games. But there's one place which is still empty, which is the Olympic medal. I hope I can fulfill the dream of myself and table tennis fraternity. Of course, it's going to be very, very tough. But in the recent times, we've been doing extremely well in the doubles side. We've been doing very good. We hope that this time it happens in Paris.
Achanta Sharat Kamal was also bestowed upon with the honor of being chosen as the flag bearer for India at the Paris Olympics. Neha Agarwal.
We had never ever imagined that table tennis as a sport, in the country will get such a big honor. I think Sharad being the flag bearer is such a huge boost for all the current table tennis players in the country. It will also be a signal to the entire country that we can do well in table tennis. I'm just so proud of Sharad to come to the stage. I hope he enjoys himself very much being the flag bearer.
His teammates are going to be former junior world champion Manav Thakkar and Harmeet Desai, while Gyanasekaran Satyan has been selected as the reserve player. Harmeet Desai feels that this mix of experience and youth is an ideal combination going into the Olympics.
We have a great mix of the team. Like, we have experience as Sharad Kamal, who is playing his 5th Olympic, and it will be Manav, who is a much younger player than me. It's great to have such a great combination in the team, and also for me, the last 1 or 2 years have been great. So I'm going to take that confidence into the Olympic, and I'm also very excited to be playing the Olympic. There will be pressure, but I like when there is more and more pressure. So I'm definitely going to enjoy every bit of it and try to do my best possible.
The team events will begin on 5th of August. In the preceding week, the singles competition and the mixed doubles event will take place. Among men, Harmeet Desai and Achanta Sharad Kamal would also compete for the singles title. Harmeet Desai tells us more about his preparations.
The preparations are going quite well at the moment, and also the team has been playing quite well. We are in good mental space. We also have a new national team coach now, Massimo Costantini. He's from Italy, and he was also part of the Indian TT team as a coach in 2010 Commonwealth Games and then 2018. So we have had such a good results under him. So this time again, we are quite confident that we will do well.
While the men would be raring to put their best foot forward, the buzz of anticipation around the women is perhaps a notch higher. After all, both Manika Batra and Srija Akula have been in terrific form leading up to the Olympics. Senior sports journalist Boria Mojumdar.
On the women's side, we have done very well. अगर हम देखें Manika number 24, श्रीजा in the top 40 और अहिका ने वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 चाइनीज को हराया था फरवरी में. मैं महिला टीम से तो जरूर उम्मीद करूंगा कि वो अच्छा प्रदर्शन करेंगे, एक दो अपसेट भी करेंगे, और अगर ठीक ठाक ड्रॉ आ गया तो वहां पे एक आउटसाइड चांस है.
Manika Batra is a household name in Indian table tennis. She recently had one of the best runs of her career in the WTT Saudi Smash tournament, where she defeated world number 2 China's Wang Manyu as well as Germany's best female paddler Nina Mittelham. As a result of which, she reached a career best ranking of 24. Conferred, Srija Akula, on the other hand, has had an even richer vein of form. In the recently held WTT Team Championship, she pipped world number 3 China's Wang Yidi. Last week, 25-year-old Srija went on to win WTT Contender Tournament held in Lagos, making her the first Indian woman to lift a WTT Series trophy. She's currently ranked higher than Batra in the world rankings. Both of them will compete in the singles event before coming together for the teams competition. India's women's team would include 2023's national champion Archana Kamath as well, while Aihika Mukherjee, who recently defeated world number 1 China's Sun Yingsha, is the reserve player. As Indian paddlers set foot at the South Paris Arena, the air would crackle with hope and expectations. The whole country would be glued to the action, praying for India's first Olympic medal in table tennis. Sandeep Gupta believes if it materializes, it could bring about a ping-pong revolution in the country. Neha Agrawal believes if it materializes, it could bring about a ping-pong revolution in the country.
टेबल टेनिस का ये गोल्डन एरा चल रहा है कि जिसमें हमें ओलंपिक के अंदर भी मेडल मिल सकता है. उससे टेबल टेनिस में जैसे पीवी सिंधु ने और साइना नेहवाल ने मेडल ओलंपिक में, एशियन गेम्स में और कॉमनवेल्थ में लाके दिए, जिससे बैडमिंटन का एक बूम चालू हुआ. हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, हर जगह सब लोग अपने आप को लड़कियों में खासतौर से साइना नेहवाल और पीवी सिंधु बनना चाहती थी, तो हर जगह एकेडमीज में बहुत ज्यादा एनरोलमेंट हुई. तो पहले अगर आपके पास 1 लाख प्लेयर खेलते थे, आप 10 लाख प्लेयर खेलेंगे, तो 10 लाख प्लेयर खेलेंगे तो 1 लाख अच्छे होंगे, उसका 10% बहुत अच्छे होंगे. तो बेसिकली कि नीचे का अगर बेस आपका बड़ा होगा तो आपके नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर बहुत ज्यादा होंगे.
For the world, badminton and table tennis might just be another couple of sports that fill up the Olympic calendar. But for our players, it would be a test of their resilience, determination and years of hard work. At Paris, they won't just be competing to win another match, another set or another game. They would be ambassadors carrying our hopes and dreams of Olympic triumph They have honed their skills for years, trained relentlessly for countless hours, and are ready to face opponents from around the world. And we are ready to cheer for them.
Cheer for Paris. You have been listening to our special program Cheer for Paris Part 7 Badminton and Table Tennis, narrated by Munish. Script Darpan Tikiya, produced by Sourya Chowdhury.